So tell me about the radio. You guys had a radio your whole life?
Yeah, I would say so.
Tell me about the programs they had and
Okay.
how often they were on.
Well, we listened to a lot of radio. First of all, the radio was a huge thing. It looked like, well, it was almost as big as any of the furniture here. Not quite this size. It was as wide, but as tall as my hand right now. And it had several speakers, but they were tiny speakers, and the tonality was, well, they really sucked. And we could get several stations. This was the neatest thing. On the right side, there were buttons you could press. Like, for example, KOB was on the air. They were 770 on the dial. Instead of turning the dial and moving it to 770, Sabrina figured out a way to tune it to that, and then with a screwdriver you reach behind it and fine-tune it. And I thought it was a very clever idea. We got KOB and KGGM and NBC and, well, several things. Most of them were network programming that would come from Chicago or Los Angeles or New York City, and we enjoyed it. There were lots of comedies. There were a number of half-hour comedies which we would enjoy. There was Dagford and Blondie, and there was the Thin Man, and there was the Fat Man, and other things, a lot of westerns.
Every night? Every night?
Not every night, usually on weekends.
Okay.
But we certainly paid attention to them. And
how would you know what was going to be on? Was it in the paper?
No, I don't think so. You know, what we had to do was just kind of remember what we watched the week before. None of them played more than once a week.
Tell me about your first TV.
Okay, the first TV was not the first TV in the neighborhood, as you might suspect, but very few people had a TV set, and Tia Manuelita and Margarito, they bought one, but that was after a bunch of us would go over to Hilton Motors. Do you remember where Hilton Motors is? All right, go to the Lincoln Park. Do you know where that is? There's like where the street narrows, there's now in Allsup's, and across the street, what used to be Fred's Lumber, was the Buick and Pontiac dealership owned by Mr. Hilton, who was the father of Joyce Litherland. Okay, well, we would, they'd set it up. They put an antenna on the roof, and people would come in, 5 or 6, sometimes the whole family, and just sit there and park and watch these programs. We hadn't seen TV before.
This was the first time you saw TV.
Yeah.
And you were impressed?
Yes, I was impressed.
Now, what year would that have been?
Oh, probably 1954.
Okay.
Maybe even earlier than that. Maybe as early as 1951. I would have been 11 or 12 in those years.
Okay, so what about your first TV in the house?
Well, the first TV in the house, well, it was a used TV. It was black and white because we couldn't afford an arm and a leg for a color TV set. But we got many eyefuls at Hilton Motors. And then after that, Tia and Anita, who lived just a block away, they went ahead and bought one. No, I think it cost about $300, which is a big box, a screen that really should have been much bigger. But
what TV programs did you watch on this TV?
Okay, we watched something called The Life of Riley with William Bendix. There was Blondie, Dagwood and Blondie. There was the Hit Parade, where the 7 most popular songs would be sung by different people live, people in the studio, and then afterwards they would announce which song got the most applause. I thought that was kind of interesting, but the black and white era lasted a long time. Sometimes after, like Sabrina and I would sell our papers, and then we'd go and park over at the Hilton Motors where they had the TV, and we would just be enthralled.
So, was that the only TV you guys had before you left home, or did you get another one before you left home?
Yeah, Tata liked TV sets. He got another one, which he talked about forever. This one, I forget the make, but he said it had an inclined screen. And he told anybody who would listen about this inclined screen. Imagine this is the set, okay? This is the image, this is the picture. Well, instead of being looking straight at you, it was inclined a little bit this way. Why? So that it wouldn't be over your head. Well, so that things that reflect like lamps would not show up there. Like here, if we turn this one on, we'd probably see that reflected. Now, that was a gimmick, the inclined screen, which probably wasn't worth what people paid for it.
Was it black and white?
It was black and white, yeah.
Okay. And so, black and white was still very common at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, a color TV set cost a lot more.
Sure.
And the Luceros, our cousins, they always could afford color set. And we used to go over there, and I used to think that Tia Manolita, as fond as I was of her, I thought that she was cruel because she let us watch the hit parade or something. And then she said, I don't know what's on afterwards, and I don't care, but I'm turning off the TV set so that we don't spend all night watching it. And I could have and would have given the opportunity to
Sure.
watch these programs. By the way, television, we got 3 stations, KOB, Channel 4, KOAT, Channel 7, KGGM. Only those 3.
Did they run 24 hours a day?
No, they would often sign off as early as 10 o'clock.
And what time would they start?
Well, they would start, it depends, they would start around noon, but what we get is a test pattern. Do you know what a test pattern is? It was simply some funny design, some swirls, pretty well done, but that would be on the camera for all morning. It didn't change, it wasn't in color, nothing moved, but that just told you that they don't have the programs ready yet. So we'd turn on the TV set and see the test pattern. They'd be bored to death.